Hey, fantasy sport fans. Hey.
Why is your mic swinging around everywhere? You need to fix that. What's going on here?
It's okay now, man.
Got it?
Richard actually assisted me, and he didn't even assist me. He just fixed it.
I looked over there, and all of a sudden the mic was like slapping you in the face, man. I didn't know what was going on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's fixed now. It's pretty good.
There we go.
Yeah. What's up, fantasy sport fans? How you doing out there? Yeah, how you doing? So, we got Corey here. Hey, Corey, say hi.
Hello.
No, that wasn't good enough. I said hi, not
Hey,
hello.
Jack.
Hey, Jack. There you go. Hey, Jack. Alrighty. Guess what? We are checking out the Miami Dolphins. Are you kidding me right now? The Miami Dolphins?
I don't know. I'm not too excited about their quarterback. That is what I do know.
Oh.
He's all right. You know, we've got Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill. The guy was the 8th overall pick in 2012. He had a decent rookie year. You know, he played all 16 games. He had a quarterback rating of 76.1, which is nothing too exciting. He had 3,294 yards, which is nothing too exciting. He had 12 touchdowns, and again, nothing too exciting, and 13 interceptions.
Huh.
That's not a quarterback that I want on my fantasy team.
So, rookie year.
He
He came out and did that. How many games did he start again?
He started all 16.
All 16.
Every one of them. And he had more interceptions than touchdowns.
Can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
And here's my question, and I really want to throw this out there, is who in the living hell was he throwing to last year?
Brian Hartline. That's who he was throwing to.
That's it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, because Chad Johnson was supposed to be playing, but obviously he got kicked off before the season could even start.
And they lost Brandon Marshall, obviously.
Obviously, because he went to Chicago and had a monster
Huge
year, like
year.
I thought he would. So,
Huge year.
So, is it safe to say Tannehill it wasn't so much of a failure as much it was he didn't really have anybody to throw the damn ball to?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that, but I'm still not going to want the guy on my fan. He hasn't proven anything. If I'm going to have a quarterback in a 10 QB league, there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that are going to put up way better numbers than Ryan Tannehill is.
Okay, so let's check this out. You got Tannehill. Who's he throwing the ball to this year?
This year.
Give me those receivers.
They acquired a person. I don't know if you've ever heard of him before. Pretty sure he was number 17. Pretty sure he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm pretty sure his name was Mike Wallace.
Mike Wallace.
You
know, I say that with a question mark as if like I had no friggin' clue who you were going to say. Of course I knew who you were going to say.
Everybody knows
it's
that
Mike
they
Wallace,
got Mike
man.
Wallace. All right. Well, the guy played 15 games last year. He had 64 receiving or catches, I guess. He had 836 yards, which is really disappointing for Mike Wallace, and he had 8 touchdowns. That's not a number one receiver's production. Number one receivers don't produce 8 touchdowns and 836 yards.
Okay, well, okay. And I realize you're saying that, but while he was with the Steelers, think about this. Antonio Brown,
2 really good years.
Okay,
the year
but
before.
of course. But look at this. Okay, the guy held out, came in way after than what he should have.
Right.
Okay, so he pretty much missed some of those training camps that he probably should have attended. You know,
Yeah.
It's probably wise. But is it safe to say that Mike Wallace was always double covered because Antonio Brown couldn't get open and Emmanuel Sanders couldn't get open? And whoever the hell they had running down the field couldn't get open.
Yeah, but why would any other team, if he's on the Dolphins, he's still going to get double covered, you know? I mean, who's going to take away the coverage? Brian Hartline, Brandon Gibson. We'll go ahead and go to the next receivers. That's pretty much all they got right there.
Okay,
Mike Wallace,
okay.
Brian Hartline, and Brandon Gibson.
But look at this. Brian
Rams.
Hartline, how many yards did Brian Hartline have last year?
1,000. You know how many touchdowns he had?
Give me.
1.
Okay, because guess what? Last year, who did they have? Brian Hartline.
Yeah, and that's it.
That's it. So obviously
So
Brian Hartline really couldn't get
the 11 other touchdowns then.
I don't know, man. That'd be really interesting. I know Fasano was in there, who's now with the Chiefs. I know he had some of those.
Yeah, and I'm going to go and skip forward a little bit. Now they have Dustin Keller, you know.
Okay, so let's check this out. Tannehill got weapons. He got Brandon Gibson out of the Rams, which was supposed to be good last year. Unfortunately, just really couldn't really catch a break. He had a couple of good games here and there.
Yeah, he played all 16 games. He had 691 yards and 5 touchdowns. He averaged 13.5 a catch.
Okay, so look at this. Look at this. You got Tannehill, and then you're going to have Mike Wallace with Brian Hartline, who will
Dustin
be a
Keller.
who. Check this out, dude. Hartline's going to be a stud this year. He will. He signed a big deal with them, I believe, for a few more years.
Yeah,
so
he did.
He's going to stick around.
If he can get his touchdowns up there.
He will, though. He will, because guess what? All that pressure is not on him right now. All that pressure is spread, man. You got Hartline, you got Wallace, you got Gibson, now you got Keller. I mean, dude, this could be a really good offense this year.
If Tannehill can get him the ball. I don't know if he's going to be able to get him the ball. And we haven't even mentioned the 2 running backs that they have either. They have pretty good running backs. But to go back to Mike Wallace last year had a 13.1 yard per catch average.
Which is good.
No, it's terrible. 13.1's nothing.
Oh.
You know what was good? In 2010, he had a 21 yard per catch average.
Oh.
In 2011, he had 16.6. So the last 3 years, it's constantly gone down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to speculate as to why.
To 13.
Yeah, and I'm not going to speculate as to why.
He's still a young receiver. And
Exactly.
He's so fast, man.
All I'm
It's
saying is that
ridiculous.
Mike Wallace was really unhappy in Pittsburgh. He wanted a deal. He couldn't get it done. That's why he held out. He came in, had a mediocre season, and guess what? Now he's with the Miami Dolphins. He's saying that he probably really shouldn't have been in Pittsburgh probably at all because his heart definitely, whatever. I don't want to hear your crap.
Yeah, well,
dude.
he's already said that he turned down a larger deal to play for the Dolphins. He's not just playing for the Dolphins because of the money.
I know.
So apparently he has trust in their quarterback.
I know from what I'm hearing out of Miami is that there's a really good vibe down there right now. There's a lot of good vibes. There's people that are having the same mindset, young guys who are real hungry, who want a championship team. And you know what? That team in this offseason went out and started collecting players to assemble a championship team. And I do believe
Tannehill can get him there.
Tannehill could very well get them
So
there.
are you going to have him as your quarterback in your fantasy league?
If I'm running a 2-quarterback league, why the hell not?
Yeah, but if you're not.
If I'm running a single quarterback league, you know what? If Tannehill's there at number 14, 15, 16.
21, 22, 23.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, sure. Why the hell not? But you know what? There's so many more better quarterbacks in the draft this year. Tannehill, I think he's a sleeper. I think he will produce, but I'm not drafting him early on.
Take him as your backup quarterback.
There you go.
Who
Amen.
has an opposite bye week of your
There
starting
you go.
quarterback.
Amen to that.
All right. So, anyway, yeah, but Brian Hartline, 1,083 yards. He had a 14.6 average. We already said he only had 1 touchdown. Now go to Dustin Keller. All right. He played 8 games with the Jets. He had 317 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 11.3 average, which is so-so in those 8 games, but look at what he was working with, Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Who we'll get to later. Also in the AFC East.
Yes. Yes.
All right, but in 2011, listen to Dustin Keller's numbers then. 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's something that you can work with as a starting tight end, with the limited supply that there are.
So are you drafting Dustin Keller in your fantasy team?
Late.
Late, like how late?
Late,
You
late.
say late. Like,
Late.
Like 16 round? 16th
Late,
round?
late.
15?
Late. That's it, man.
Next year kicker?
If all those top 10 tight ends are gone, then pick him up. If Pitt is gone, if Kyle Rudolph's gone, if Brandon Myers with the Giants is gone, all those players I think are going to have better years than Dustin Keller. But pick him late, and he might produce for you.
All right. That's good. I'll listen to that.
All right, here we go. Kicker, Dan Carpenter.
Tell me about Dan Carpenter.
He had a 81.5% completion.
Yeah?
Well, kicking.
Where did he mess up
percentage
at? Where
average.
was he missing?
He was 2 of 5 from 50 plus.
Ouch.
Yeah, so you're not going to get many points, and his long was 50 yards. And he was 22 of 27, so there's 3 of them right there. So he only missed 2 other kicks.
All right.
But we still haven't went over the most important part. We'll go to the defense, and then we'll go to the running backs. We can't skip the running backs.
No, we're not. I was waiting for you to get through all this crap.
Yeah,
so that way we can get to the running backs and get to the
completely.
Say the best for last, man.
All right,
Say the best for last.
Do it. Okay, defense. We've got Cameron Wake. Obviously, he's a beast. 15 sacks, 38 solo tackles. They just drafted Deion Jordan with their 3rd overall pick this year from Oregon to go opposite of Cameron Wake. That's a good defensive line right there. Then they acquired Brent Grimes from the Falcons, and they've got Chris Clemens, who had 2 interceptions and 72 solo tackles at the safety spot.
Yeah.
So they're going to have a decent defense. It just sucks that they're having to play the Patriots twice a year, But if you look at the rest of the division, they've got some pretty good matchups,
Let's just say every Sunday with the Miami Dolphins is going to be a fun game to watch.
They have some players, and the one player that I'm pretty stoked about that I don't know if a lot of people are really paying attention to, a sleeper guy who you can get in the 4th, 5th round as a utility running back who could produce number 1 running back numbers, Lamar Miller.
Tell me about Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller, he didn't really do much last year. He played 13 games, had 250 yards and 1 touchdown, but obviously he was playing behind Reggie Bush and Daniel Thomas.
Which Reggie Bush is no longer there and currently resides in Detroit.
But listen to Lamar Miller's average, 4.9 a rush.
Yeah.
That's why they're so stoked about him.
Yeah.
This guy can ball, man. He's a good running back. And on top of that, he's got the easiest schedule for a running back this year out of any running back in the NFL. He has the easiest schedule.
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to play devil's advocate. How many years does he have in the NFL right now?
Not very many. 1,
Really?
2. No. He's fairly new. This may have even been his first year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're all about him, man. Everything that I hear, everything that I've looked up, this guy is poised to have a breakout season. They have another guy named Daniel Thomas. This guy
can't stay healthy.
This guy played in 12 games last year. He had 325 yards and 4 touchdowns, but his average was only 3.6.
Okay, so you're really hung up on Miller right now being that guy.
Miller is going to be the number 1 running back for the Dolphins. And with Mike Wallace, with Brian Hartline, this guy is a legitimate number 2 that you can get in the 4th, 5th round.
Can we get Miller on the phone right now?
Get Miller on the phone.
I want to get Miller on the phone, and I want to discuss what he thinks.
Listen to me, fantasy sport fans. If you can get Lamar Miller in the 5th round, do it. Do not hesitate. He is going to be good. Watch, I say that, and he's going to get hurt first game. But he is poised to have a breakout year. He is going to be their number 1 running back. Do not miss out on this guy.
Okay, and in fantasy owners, you have to realize, we talk about numbers and we talk about fantasy and predictions and all this stuff, but you have to realize every Sunday is going to be its own Sunday all by itself. All-star players, Brandon Marshall, Tony Romo, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, all of them are always bound to have a good game, a season-ending injury. So all this stuff could easily go completely opposite. But from what we read, which we read a lot about fantasy players, we read a lot about stats, we're telling you stuff that we really believe is true and really could happen. Keyword could.
And by the way, little birdie in my ear.
Oh, yeah?
That was his first season.
That was his first season.
This will be his sophomore season coming up, and he's going to be the starting running back.
Well, you know what? I tell you what, Miami Dolphin fans, I think you have something to look forward to. My friend out of Salt Lake City, Utah, who's the only Miami Dolphin fan up there that I know of, Craig, I'm telling you, dude, you got something to be excited for. I'm giving you a shout out. There you go, brother.
Just hope Ryan Tannehill does something. If not, Matt Moore's your backup. Good luck with that.
There
Miami Dolphins.
Boom! Hey, Fantasy Sport Fan Nation. Be sure to check out our free exclusive daily fantasy sports sites review. Get this free 29-page report reviewing the top 11 daily fantasy sports sites only at fantasysportfans.com.